Hola, clase. This is Caroline, and we are going to start our first activities recording. As we go along through this, I'll probably go between Spanish and English for the first couple of activities, and then after that, there'll be more and more in Spanish. Don't let that panic you. You can listen to it as many times as you want and just follow along. Okay, we're going to start with preguntas personales. Personales is a cognate. Cognates are words that are similar in Spanish and in English, or in any foreign language to English. Personales, you should be able to guess. What do you think that is? Personales means personal. Preguntas, now that's just a plain old Spanish word. You're not going to be able to guess that unless you've had Spanish before. If you've had Spanish before, you know that preguntas means questions. So preguntas personales are personal questions. Notice that the adjective personal comes after the noun question. So they say questions personals, not personal questions. And we'll talk more about that later. But preguntas personales are the first part of every quiz. So it's really important that you guys know the preguntas personales. I strongly suggest that you take notes on these. So let's start with the preguntas personales. Pregunta personal número uno. What do you think número uno means? Número is number. Uno is your first number if you've looked over your numbers in the vocabulary, which you should have done by now. Uno is one. So, pregunta personal número uno means personal question number one. Pregunta personal número uno. ¿Cómo estás hoy? That's part of our vocabulary. ¿Cómo estás hoy means how are you today? ¿Cómo is a question word. They're sometimes called interrogatives. Como means how. Estás is from the verb estar, which we'll talk about more in the grammar lesson for part 2 of this chapter. It means are you, and hoy means today. So, ¿cómo estás hoy? How would you answer that? You would say, estoy, and then something to describe how you are. Estoy means I am. So estás means you are, and estoy means I am. That's the verb getting conjugated, just like we don't say I is in English. We don't say yo estás in Spanish. That sounds just as stupid in Spanish as it does in English. So, ¿cómo estás hoy? Yo estoy. ¿Cómo estás? Yo estoy bien. Yo estoy mal. Yo estoy así. Yo estoy cansado or cansada. We'll talk about that more in a minute. Yo estoy aburrido or aburrida. Okay, let's see if we can guess what these are. Most of these are vocabulary words. Estoy bien means I'm good or I'm great. Estoy mal, not so good. Estoy así, I'm so-so. Now, cansado or cansada. Cansado means tired. I put that in there because most of the time when people are taking their tests and they want to answer truthfully, well, they're probably exhausted, so tired. Now, why does it have cansado and then a slash and an a at the end? Adjectives have to agree with the person they're describing. We'll talk more about noun-adjective agreement in the grammar lesson. But for right now, understand that if an adjective ends in O, that means it's describing a masculine thing. And if an adjective ends in A, that means it's describing a feminine thing. So, if you are a man in my class, you're going to answer estoy cansado with an O. I'm a lady, so I am going to answer estoy cansada with an A, and all the other ladies in the class are going to do that. Okay, same thing with aburrido. You can tell from the little picture there, aburrido means bored. So, estoy aburrido for guys, estoy aburrida for girls. So, if I ask you on a test, ¿Cómo estás hoy? You're going to answer, estoy bien, or whatever, hopefully bien. Pregunta personal número 2. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? That's part of your vocabulary. What does that mean? ¿Cómo te llamas means what's your name. Literally, it means how Como do you call llamas yourself? Te. Como te llamas? How do you call yourself? If you wanted to, there's another way to phrase it. I could say, ¿Cuál es tu nombre? That would be, what is your name? ¿Cuál, what, es, is, tu, your, nombre, name. But I'm going to ask this, ¿Cómo te llamas? How do you answer to that? ¿Cómo se responde? Se responde, me llamo, whatever. So I would say, me llamo Caroline. Or there's another way you can answer. You could say, mi nombre es. My name is. Mi nombre es Caroline. So if I say, me llamo Caroline, that literally means I call, llamo, myself, me, Caroline. Me llamo Caroline. I call myself Caroline. Mi nombre es Caroline literally means me, my, nombre, name, es, is. Okay? Now, here's a common mistake that people make. They say, me llamo es. Well, that sounds crazy to people because that means I call myself is. So don't confuse those two phrases. You can either say me llamo Caroline, or whatever your name is, or mi nombre es Caroline. Okay. Pregunta personal número 3. ¿De dónde eres? Now we have a new question word here. ¿Dónde? ¿Dónde means where? And eres means are you. It's from the verb ser, which also means to be. So de dónde eres means from, de, where, ¿dónde? Are you? Eres. ¿De dónde eres? From where are you? Or in better English, where are you from? In Spanish, we answer, soy de wherever. So, soy is I am and de is from. Soy de, I am from, and I would say soy de Lexington. You might say soy de Midway or wherever. Okay? Pregunta personal número 4, I think we're on. ¿Cuántos años tienes? We have a new question word. ¿Cuántos means how many? Años are years. And tienes is from the verb tener, which means to have. So tienes means you have. So this question says, how many years do you have? That's the way the Spanish ask, how old are you? So how am I going to answer that? I would say tengo, which is the I form of to have. So tengo means I have, however many años. Okay, so, let's make up a number. I'm not going to tell you my real age because it'll drive you crazy. I'll say that I'm 18 years old. That's a nice dream. So I'll say tengo 18 años. Now, let me tell you a couple of things here. When you do this on the test, you just can't write out the number 1 and the number 8 if you're 18 years old. You've got to spell the word 18 out. So be sure that you are memorizing the spelling of those words. Let me tell you another story here. I'll take this time to tell you about these diacritical marks, like that little squiggly thing over the A, that's called an accent, or that little squiggly thing over the N there in años, that's called a tilde. These things are important. Without the accent, the meanings of words change. And without the tilde, the meaning of words change. So, for example, años with the tilde over the N means year, but años is a bad word. The best translation for it that I'll give you while I'm being recorded is buttholes. Only crank that up a notch. Okay, so these words, you're supposed to be laughing right now. These little squiggly marks are important. Don't forget them. So, pregunta personal número 4, I think we're on. ¿Cuántos años tienes? The answer is, tengo however many años. Pregunta personal número 5. ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? We have a new question word. Cuando means when. Es, we already know, means is. Tu means your. Años means years. Cumple means to repeat, sort of. So cumpleaños means birthday. So ¿cuándo es tu cumpleaños? When's your birthday? You will answer, mi cumpleaños es el 23 de septiembre, or whatever your birthday is. Mi means my. Cumpleaños is birthday, so my birthday. Es is el, the, and then you put in the date. So if I say mi cumpleaños es el 23 de septiembre, I'm saying my birthday is the 23rd of September. That really is my birthday. Mi cumpleaños es el 23 de septiembre. If your birthday was the 5th of July, you would say mi cumpleaños es el 5 de julio. If your birthday is the 11th of January, you would say mi cumpleaños es el 11 de enero. So the number goes in the first blank, the date, the month goes in the second blank. So you should take a minute to write down, how are you going to answer this question in Spanish? When is your birthday? And again, on the test, you are going to have to write out the 23 and you're going to have to write out septiembre, or whatever your real birthday is. Okay. Próxima pregunta personal. I've lost track, so I'll just say próxima. Próxima means next. Próxima pregunta personal. ¿Cuál es la fecha? We have another question word here. ¿Cuál means which? And fecha is one of your vocabulary words. It means date. So, ¿cuál es la fecha? What is the date? How do you answer that? You say hoy, which means today. Es el, whatever the date is, de, whatever the month is. So on the day that I'm making this recording for you guys, it's August 19th. So I would answer the question, ¿cuál es la fecha? By saying, hoy es el 19 de agosto. Okay. Próxima pregunta personal. ¿Qué día es hoy? ¿Qué, you'll remember, means what? Día is a vocabulary word. It means day. Es is. Hoy, we've already said a couple of times, means today. So, ¿qué día es hoy? That question means, what day is today? How do you answer that? You say, hoy es, and the day of the week. On the day that I'm recording this for you, it's Friday. So, my answer today would be, hoy es viernes. So, when you take this question on the test, you will just write out whatever the day is. If you take the test on martes, you will write hoy es martes. Now, here's the trick. Moodle tells me what day you took the test on. So, you have got to look this up before you take the test. You know this is going to be a pregunta personal. So, look up how to say today's date, stick it in your brain, and be ready to write it out on the test. Okay, próxima pregunta personal. ¿Qué mes es? Okay, this is real simple. We already know that you're going to be taking this test sometime in September. So, what is our answer? Oh, well, it would help me if I told you what the question is first, wouldn't it? ¿Qué? ¿Qué means what? Mes is one of our vocabulary words. It means month. And es is. So the question says, what month is it? We already know we'll be taking this test in September, so your answer on the test date is going to be el mes es septiembre. The month is September. But since I'm recording this lesson in August, my answer is going to be el mes es agosto. So el without an accent means the. With an accent, it means he. See how those words change if you don't put in your little squiggly marks? El means the, mes means month, es is. El mes es agosto. Próxima pregunta personal. ¿Qué estación es? ¿Qué means what? Estación means two things. It looks like an English word, station, doesn't it? Well, and it is. Estación does mean station, but in this context, it means season. ¿Qué estación es? What season is it? And the answer is, la estación es, and we are in fall. in my opinion. I don't think it's still summer, but you might say that. If you think it's still summer, then you would say la estación es verano. But I think it's fall. So I'm going to say la estación es otoño. In my opinion, once they close the swimming pools, it's fall. Summer's over. So in my opinion, la estación es otoño. Próxima pregunta personal. ¿Cuál es tu color favorito? Now, you should be able to figure this question out without me telling you. ¿Cuál, we've already said, means which. Es is. Tu is your. And color favorito are cognates. What does color favorito mean? It means favorite color. And remember that adjective comes after the noun in Spanish. So, what is your answer going to be? Mi color favorito es, and then you fill in the blank with one of the adjective words, with one of the color words that are in this chapter. So I will say, mi color favorito es azul, blue. Yours can be whatever you want it to be. Okay, let's do some more ejercicios. Ejercicios means exercises. Más means more. Entonces, más ejercicios con los días, meses y estaciones. Días are days, meses are months, and estaciones were seasons. Okay, más ejercicios. ¿Cierto o falso? El año nuevo es en mayo. El año nuevo es en mayo. What am I asking here? What does cierto o falso mean? Cierto o falso means true or false. Now, what do you think the año nuevo is? Those are both they're both vocabulary words. Año, we've already said, means year. And nuevo, even if you don't have the vocabulary memorized yet, look at the picture. El año nuevo is the new year. So, ¿cierto o falso? El año nuevo es en mayo. Falso. El año nuevo es en enero. The new year isn't in May. It's in January. Notice that we don't capitalize the names of the months or the days of the weeks in Spanish. Okay. ¿Cierto o falso? El año nuevo es en invierno. El año nuevo es en invierno. ¿Qué es invierno? Invierno es winter. ¿Cierto o falso? Cierto. Próximo. ¿Cierto o falso? El día de San Valentín es en agosto. I'm going to let you figure out what el día de San Valentín es. El día de San Valentín es en agosto. Falso. El día de San Valentín es en verano. El día de San Valentín es en verano. Falso. ¿Cuándo es el día de San Valentín? Es en febrero. Y es en, let's see, febrero, I'd still call that winter. So we'll say es en invierno. Próximo. ¿Cierto o falso? El día de San Patricio, you can guess that, es en marzo. El día de San Patricio es en marzo. Cierto. ¿Cierto o falso? El día de San Patricio es en otoño. El día de San Patricio es en otoño. Falso. ¿Cuándo es el día de San Patricio? It's in March. I'd say that's probably spring already. So I'm going to say el día de San Patricio es en primavera. Próximo. El día de Independencia. I'll let you guess what Día de Independencia is. Take a clue from the picture. And Independencia is a cognate. El Día de Independencia es en julio. Cierto. Próximo. El Día de Independencia es en verano. Cierto. Próximo. El Día de los Muertos es en octubre. cierto. El Día de los Muertos es en primavera. Give you a minute to look in the book to see when primavera is. El Día de los Muertos es en primavera. Falso. ¿Cuándo es el Día de los Muertos? El Día de los Muertos es en otoño. Okay, próximo. El Día de Acción de Gracias es en abril. Okay, I'll help you with this one. Acción de Gracias. Gracias means thank you, right? So, Acción de Gracias, Día de Acción de Gracias means that's how they say Thanksgiving Day. So, el Día de Acción de Gracias es en abril. Falso. El Día de Acción de Gracias es en otoño. Sí, cierto. November is still kind of fallish. Okay. Cierto o falso, próximo cierto y falso. La Navidad es en diciembre. La Navidad es en diciembre, cierto. ¿Cierto o falso? La Navidad es en invierno. Cierto. And Navidad, you can probably guess from the picture, is their word for Christmas. You can remember that because Navidad comes from nativity. Any word in Spanish that ends in DAD is going to be TY in Spanish, in English. So, Navidad, nativity. Universidad, university. Libertad, liberty. And on like that. Okay. Ahora, yo voy a nombrar un mes. Y ustedes van a decirme la estación asociada. That's a lot of Spanish. I'll do things like this a lot. If I say yo voy, that means I'm going to. Now, nombrar. I'm going to name. What am I going to name? Un mes. That's our vocabulary word, a month. Yo voy a nombrar un mes. Y ustedes van a decirme. Ustedes means you all. Van means are going to. Decirme means tell me. Ustedes van a decirme, you guys are going to tell me, la estación asociada. Estación is one of your vocabulary words. Season. Asociada. What do you think that means? That is associated. So you guys are going to tell me the associated season. Here we go. Diciembre. ¿Qué estación asociamos con diciembre? Próximo. Junio. ¿Qué estación asociamos con junio? Próximo. Septiembre. ¿Qué estación asociamos con septiembre? Y finalmente, abril. ¿Qué estación asociamos con abril? Primavera. Okay. Ahora, yo voy a decir un día. What am I going to say? I'm going to say a day. Y ustedes van a decirme el próximo día. What are you guys going to tell me? I told you that próximo means next. So, el próximo día is the next day. Okay. Domingo. What comes after domingo? Próximo. Martes. ¿Qué día es después de martes? Próximo. ¿Qué día es después de jueves? Próximo. Got a little extra word and a little extra letter in there. It's supposed to be sábado, not sábado. Sábado. Ignore that L on the end. Sábado. ¿Qué día es después de sábado? Okay. Sorry, forgot that was the end of the little lesson there. So that's the end of this lesson. Now what I would like for you guys to do is go back to the beginning, watch this again, and write down all your preguntas personales and the answers to the preguntas, your personal answers to the preguntas personales. Well, you can type those down in Word, and then you're going to turn that in, the preguntas personales and your answers to the preguntas personales. You're going to turn that in as part of the participation points for this section, for Chapter 1, Part 1.